Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama, updates, and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. The latest Beyond the Gates spoilers for Wednesday, August 19th, promise another wildly unpredictable day in the DMV, where emotions are running high, relationships are becoming increasingly complicated, and several characters appear ready to cross boundaries they may later regret. At the center of the drama are Dani Dupree and Andre Richardson, whose already troubled marriage seems destined to take another dangerous turn as both find themselves in situations that could push them far beyond what should be considered acceptable. Meanwhile, Nicole Dupree is about to step forward when someone desperately needs her help, giving her a chance to prove herself to the people around her while possibly earning some important points with her boyfriend, Dr. Kyle Rollins. With romance, family pressure, unexpected favors, and questionable decisions all colliding at once, Wednesday looks set to deliver the kind of campy chaos that keeps the drama moving at full speed. Nicole's day begins on a surprisingly positive note when she comes through for Kyle and helps save the night for his son, Noah Rollins. Noah is scheduled to perform at Uptown's open mic, but something threatens to interfere with his big moment, leaving Nicole in a position where she may have to step in and help. The exact nature of the problem remains unclear, but it raises an interesting question about what Nicole could possibly do to rescue the situation. Considering that she is a therapist rather than someone who specializes in handling technical equipment, it seems unlikely that she will be crawling behind the stage trying to fix a broken microphone or wrestling with some complicated piece of equipment. Instead, the problem may be much more personal, perhaps involving nerves or stage fright, just when Noah needs confidence the most. If that is the case, Nicole's professional experience could make her exactly the person Noah needs in that moment, allowing her to calm him down, steady his emotions, and help him find the courage to step into the spotlight. That moment could also have a deeper meaning for Nicole and Kyle, because helping Noah succeed would give Nicole an opportunity to connect with his son in a meaningful way. Relationships can become complicated when children are involved, especially when a new partner is trying to find their place within the family. And Nicole's willingness to step up could show Kyle that she genuinely cares about the people he loves. What begins as a simple favor could therefore become an important emotional moment between them, particularly if Nicole manages to turn Noah's anxiety into confidence before his performance. There is something naturally heartwarming about watching someone who is overwhelmed discover that they are capable of more than they believed, and Nicole may be the guiding force who makes that possible for Noah. Yet, even as Nicole enjoys a small victory, the rest of the Dupree family will be facing complications of a very different kind, because Vernon Dupree's plans for Anita Dupree are about to hit an unexpected obstacle. Vernon appears to have something romantic planned for Anita, but according to the spoilers, those plans will be derailed before the couple can fully enjoy their time together. Anyone familiar with this family knows that romance rarely comes without interruption, and their grandchildren have practically become infamous for appearing at exactly the wrong moments. So the big question is whether one of those grandchildren will suddenly drop in and once again destroy whatever peaceful or romantic moment Vernon has prepared. After everything the couple has been dealing with, they could certainly use some uninterrupted time together, making the possibility of another interruption all the more frustrating. What should have been a private moment between Vernon and Anita could instead turn into another reminder that in their world, even the best laid romantic plans can collapse without warning. While Vernon and Anita struggle to hold on to their moment, another surprise is quietly taking shape across town, where Jacob Hawthorne is preparing something special for Naomi Hawthorne. Jacob will enlist Ashley Morgan and Grayson Perez to help him organize a surprise, suggesting that whatever he has planned is important enough to require more than one person behind the scenes. The details remain deliberately unclear, but the situation certainly sounds as though Jacob may be arranging some kind of party or gathering involving the four of them. There could be something specific they are celebrating, or perhaps Jacob simply wants to create a moment that allows Naomi to breathe after everything she has been carrying on her shoulders. Whatever the reason, the fact that he is involving Ashley and Grayson suggests that this will not be a casual get-together, but something carefully planned with Naomi's feelings in mind. And honestly, Naomi could probably use the distraction more than anyone realizes. Her father, Bill Hamilton, remains in the hospital, leaving Naomi to carry the enormous responsibility of overseeing his firm while he is absent, a burden that would be overwhelming under even the best circumstances. Instead, she is trying to keep everything together while also dealing with Thomas Navarro and his increasingly difficult attitude and ego, creating even more pressure in an already exhausting situation. Naomi has been pulled in so many directions that it is difficult to imagine when she has had a chance to simply stop and breathe. That is why Jacob's surprise could become more meaningful than just a celebration, because perhaps he recognizes that Naomi needs a moment where she does not have to think about hospitals, business responsibilities, family problems, or Thomas's behavior. If Jacob is hoping to lift her spirits and temporarily pull her away from the weight of everything happening around her, this gathering could arrive at exactly the right time. But while one storyline offers the possibility of warmth and relief, the biggest storm is building around Dani and Andre, because both spouses appear ready to cross lines that could have serious consequences for their already fragile marriage. Their relationship has been struggling for some time, and Wednesday's spoilers suggest that the problems between them are no longer something either can easily ignore. Dani may find herself returning to the hospital to visit Bill, while Andre is once again brought into contact with Heather Armstrong. On the surface, these might seem like separate encounters, but the circumstances surrounding both of them make it clear that something more dangerous could be developing beneath the surface. The tension in both situations appears likely to move beyond innocent conversation, creating the possibility that Dani and Andre will each make choices that could damage their marriage even further. Dani's possible visit to Bill at the hospital is especially significant because it comes at a time when emotions are already running high and boundaries within her personal life are becoming increasingly blurred. If she chooses to spend time with Bill again, the encounter could create another layer of complications, particularly if the connection between them becomes more intimate than it should. At the same time, Andre's unexpected encounter with Heather could put him in an equally vulnerable position, especially given the growing problems inside his marriage to Dani. The spoilers strongly hint that neither situation will remain completely innocent, raising the possibility that both Dani and Andre could give in to temptation in their own separate ways. What makes the situation even more explosive is the possibility that each spouse may be making questionable choices without fully understanding what the other is doing. By the end of the day, it may become painfully clear that the trouble between Dani and Andre is much deeper than a simple argument or temporary rough patch. When both partners begin stepping outside the boundaries of their marriage, even if the choices start with seemingly harmless encounters, the consequences can spread quickly and leave emotional damage that is almost impossible to contain. The real question is not simply whether Dani and Andre will cross those lines, but what happens when the truth begins to surface and they are forced to confront what they have done. Their marriage has already been under pressure, and Wednesday could push it into territory neither of them is prepared to face. With Bill still in the hospital, Heather back in Andre's orbit, and both spouses seemingly vulnerable to temptation, paradise is looking anything but peaceful. And as all these storylines collide, Wednesday's episode promises to balance emotional warmth with scandalous tension in true Beyond the Gates fashion. Nicole may have a chance to strengthen her relationship with Kyle by helping Noah overcome whatever obstacle stands between him and his uptown performance, while Vernon and Anita may once again discover that privacy is almost impossible when family is involved. Jacob, Ashley, and Grayson will be working behind the scenes to create a special surprise for Naomi, potentially giving her a much-needed escape from the overwhelming responsibilities surrounding her father and his business. Yet beneath all of those lighter moments, Dani and Andre's marriage continues moving toward a dangerous breaking point, with both spouses apparently stepping into situations that could have lasting repercussions. By the time the dust settles, the biggest question may be whether their relationship can survive the choices they are about to make, or whether Wednesday marks the beginning of consequences that neither Dani nor Andre can escape. As Wednesday's events continue to unfold, the pressure surrounding Dani and Andre only seems to grow heavier, as though the cracks in their marriage are finally beginning to widen into something neither of them can easily repair. Both have been struggling with their relationship, and now each appears to be standing dangerously close to a boundary that should never be crossed. Dani's possible visit to Bill at the hospital carries an especially complicated emotional weight because hospitals have a way of stripping away the distractions of everyday life and forcing people to confront feelings they might otherwise keep buried. If Dani allows herself to become too emotionally involved with Bill during this visit, the consequences could reach far beyond a single private encounter. At the same time, Andre's renewed contact with Heather Armstrong creates a parallel danger, putting him in a situation where temptation could become stronger than his commitment to his marriage. With both spouses facing their own moments of weakness, the question becomes whether either of them will stop before the damage is done. For Dani, another visit to Bill could seem innocent enough at first, especially given everything happening around his hospitalization and the emotional circumstances surrounding his family. But when unresolved feelings are involved, even the most ordinary conversation can begin to carry a different kind of tension, particularly when two people already share a complicated connection. Dani may tell herself that she is simply checking on Bill, yet the atmosphere could shift quickly if their emotions begin to overpower their better judgment. What makes the situation even more dangerous is the possibility that Dani is not simply looking for Bill, but also seeking something she feels is missing from her marriage to Andre. When someone feels emotionally neglected or disconnected, attention from another person can become intoxicating, and that is precisely where an innocent visit can transform into a decision that cannot be taken back. If Dani crosses that line, she may discover that the momentary comfort she receives is followed by an entirely different kind of pain. Meanwhile, Andre will have his own test of loyalty when Heather Armstrong enters his orbit once again. Their encounter could begin casually, perhaps as an unexpected meeting that neither planned, but the history and circumstances between them may create an atmosphere that is difficult to ignore. Andre is already dealing with the consequences of a strained marriage, and another emotionally charged encounter with Heather could expose just how vulnerable he has become. The danger is not simply that Heather is present, but that Andre may be willing to entertain feelings or impulses that he should have shut down immediately. If the interaction becomes as steamy as the spoilers suggest, Andre could find himself making the same kind of mistake that Dani may be making with Bill, creating a devastating situation in which both spouses are guilty of crossing boundaries at nearly the same time. That possibility makes their storyline particularly explosive because neither Dani nor Andre would be able to claim complete innocence if the truth eventually comes out. They may each believe they are acting independently, perhaps even convincing themselves that their choices are justified by the problems already existing inside their marriage. But betrayal has a way of changing everything once it is exposed, and the emotional fallout could be far greater than either one anticipates. A marriage that was already struggling could suddenly become a battlefield of accusations, resentment, guilt, and painful questions about when the relationship truly began to fall apart. The most heartbreaking part may be that both Dani and Andre could be searching for comfort while unknowingly creating even more reasons for the other person to walk away. Elsewhere, the atmosphere will be considerably lighter as Jacob continues preparing his surprise for Naomi with help from Ashley and Grayson. Whatever Jacob has planned, the secrecy surrounding it suggests that he wants Naomi to experience something genuinely positive after so much stress. Naomi has been forced to carry enormous responsibilities while her father remains in the hospital, and overseeing his firm in his absence has likely left her with little time to think about anything beyond keeping everything running. Add Tomas Navarro's attitude and ego to that already overwhelming situation, and it becomes easy to understand why Naomi has been carrying so much tension. A surprise gathering could therefore offer her something she desperately needs but may not realize she needs: a chance to step away from responsibility and simply enjoy being surrounded by people who want to see her smile. Jacob's decision to involve Ashley and Grayson also gives the storyline a sense of anticipation because the success of the surprise will depend on keeping Naomi completely unaware of what is coming. There is something almost comforting about the idea of people quietly working behind the scenes to create happiness for someone who has spent so much time dealing with difficult circumstances. Naomi may initially wonder why everyone seems to be acting strangely or why certain details do not quite add up, but the truth could eventually leave her genuinely touched. Whether they are celebrating a specific milestone or simply creating an excuse to gather together, the emotional purpose appears clear. Naomi needs a moment of joy. After days filled with hospitals, business pressures, and personal conflict, even a few hours of laughter and connection could feel like a small escape from a storm that never seems to end. At the same time, Vernon and Anita may discover that their own attempt at romance is once again being threatened by circumstances beyond their control. Vernon appears to have plans for Anita, and whatever he has arranged seems designed to give the couple a chance to reconnect away from the chaos surrounding them. Unfortunately, their grandchildren have a reputation for appearing at the worst possible moments, and there is always the possibility that another unexpected interruption could derail everything. It is almost as though Vernon and Anita cannot get a peaceful romantic moment without someone or something finding a way to break the spell. If one of the grandchildren suddenly arrives, the frustration may be immediate, especially if Vernon has gone to considerable effort to make the occasion special. Still, the lighter family moments will provide an important contrast to the darker choices unfolding elsewhere. Nicole, meanwhile, may continue proving that she can be a positive presence in Kiel's life by helping Noah through whatever obstacle threatens his uptown open mic performance. If Noah is struggling with stage fright, Nicole's ability to understand what he is feeling could make all the difference, allowing him to push through the fear and take his place in front of the crowd. There could be a particularly rewarding emotional payoff if Noah begins the evening overwhelmed by doubt, but eventually finds himself performing with confidence. For Nicole, that success would mean more than simply helping Kyle's son get through a difficult moment, because it could strengthen the bond between her and Kyle while showing that she is willing to be there for his family when they need her most. But beneath all of these seemingly separate storylines, Wednesday's biggest theme may ultimately be about people trying to find relief from pressures they cannot escape. Naomi needs an escape from responsibility. Noah may need an escape from fear. Vernon and Anita need an escape from constant interruptions. And Dani and Andre appear to be searching for an escape from the problems inside their marriage. The difference is that some of these characters may find healthy ways to cope, while others could make choices that only deepen their troubles. Dani and Andre, in particular, appear to be approaching a moment where there may be no easy way back. If both of them cross the line, the question will no longer be whether their marriage is in trouble, but whether there is enough trust left to save it. And that is what makes the final stretch of this drama so dangerous, because secrets can remain hidden for only so long before someone notices that something has changed. Dani may believe her encounter with Bill can remain separate from her marriage, while Andre may think whatever happens with Heather can be kept under control, but the emotional consequences could begin revealing themselves almost immediately. Every glance, every unexplained absence, and every sudden change in behavior could become another clue pointing toward the truth. Meanwhile, the people around them will continue living their own lives, unaware that something potentially explosive is unfolding beneath the surface. By the time Dani and Andre are forced to face what they have done, the damage may already be far greater than either expected. So as Wednesday, August 19th moves forward, Beyond the Gates appears ready to deliver a mixture of heartfelt moments, family chaos, romantic surprises, and dangerously blurred boundaries. Nicole could earn a special place in Kial's heart by helping Noah overcome his obstacle at Uptown, while Jacob, Ashley, and Grayson prepare a surprise designed to bring some much-needed happiness into Naomi's stressful life. Vernon and Anita may once again find their romantic plans threatened by an unexpected family interruption, keeping their relationship from enjoying the quiet moment they deserve. Yet the real storm remains centered on Dani and Andre, because both appear poised to cross lines that could permanently change the future of their marriage.